I was just a fucking cunt. I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID, bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just a fucking cunt. You know, it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people, if you knew you wouldn't like. You know, he'll come in here. There's a video of me. I always look like, oh, you're so good. Like, I'm being sarcastic. Like, bro, like, you go and you fucking starch this 1-on-1 guy when there's like Edmund, there's like high level UFC fighters, and you're picking the one-on-one fighter because like you think he's the same height as your opponent. No, you're picking him because you're a bitch, dude. Like, it just, yeah, he's just like, no, he could fight, but like mentally, he's just a weak man. You know, he's just a weak man.
He came here, fought his ass off, broke my nose. Like, dude, and hell yeah, man. Like, hats off. Did you fought like a...
Sean Strickland has sent a clear warning message to undefeated Phenom Khamzat Chimaev just weeks before the biggest fight of his career. Strickland is calling out the so-called boogeyman of the middleweight division, branding him as mentally weak. And this could change everything heading into UFC 319. But that's just the beginning. Tonight, we're diving deep into Chimaev's unprecedented three-belt conquest plan, his money-focused mindset, and whether the undefeated Chechen can truly make UFC history against South African champion Dricus du Plessis on August 16th in Chicago.
I wanted to get your thoughts on Dricus as a champion, his run so far, and what do you make of his grappling?
What do you think, guys? How I done with this guy, Rob? How he done? Rob took him down. So if Rob took him down, so very salam alaikum.
Let's start with the controversy that's rocking the MMA world. Sean Strickland, never one to hold back, has unleashed a scathing attack on Khamzat Chimaev's mental strength. And these aren't just trash talk antics. Strickland and Chimaev have a bitter rivalry stemming from their days as sparring partners. In a recent explosive interview with Red Corner MMA, Strickland didn't just criticize Chimaev's fighting style, he went straight for the jugular, targeting his mentality. Here's what Strickland had to say, and I quote, "Chimaev is just a fucking squash. I was there when he retired from COVID. I was training with him. Mentally, he's just a weak man."
Chimaev is just a fucking cunt. I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID, bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just a fucking cunt. You know, it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people, if you knew you wouldn't like. You know, he'll come in here. There's a video of me. I always look like, oh, you're so good. Comes out. Understand, you're better than everybody. So just don't hurt people. Like, I'm being sarcastic. Like, bro, like, you go and you fucking starch this 1-on-1 guy when there's like Edmund, there's like high level UFC fighters, and you're picking the one-on-one fighter because like you think he's the same height as your opponent. No, you're picking him because you're a bitch, dude. Like, it just, yeah, he's just like, no, he could fight, but like mentally, he's just a weak man. You know, he's just a weak man.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Strickland accused Chimaev of being a bully in the gym, claiming he picks on lower-level fighters instead of challenging himself against elite competition. These are serious allegations from someone who trained alongside the undefeated contender. The question is Strickland speaking from emotion, or has he exposed a genuine weakness that Dricus du Plessis could exploit? Because if there's any truth to these claims, Chimaev could be walking into a nightmare against one of the toughest, most durable champions in UFC history.
I don't know. When I was there, they never said anything, you know. When I leave the Vegas and when they stopped my visa, he started to talk. When I come back, I'm in LA, bro. Come on. If it's something personal for you, just come. I'm here whenever you want.
Now, let's talk about what makes this fight so much bigger than just another title shot. Khamzat Chimaev isn't just looking to become champion, he's planning to make UFC history as the promotion's first ever three-division champion. Think about that for a moment. We've seen double champions like Conor McGregor and Daniel Cormier, but nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever held 3 UFC titles simultaneously. Here's Chimaev's master plan. First, defeat du Plessis for the middleweight crown. Then, drop back down to welterweight to challenge current champion Jack Della Maddalena, the Australian fighter Chimaev specifically mentioned as his next target.
I saw you said in an interview with ESPN that you still could go to welterweight, you could go to 205. After this fight, and you say you become the middleweight champion, would you rather defend at 185 or try to get another belt right away?
It doesn't matter. So I will be ready, I hope. It's no injury, nothing's gonna happen in the fight. So, and fight in Abu Dhabi. So maybe defend the belt, maybe fight somebody. I'm doing my business now, bro. Doesn't matter if they give me money, so I will fight anyone.
Is there a world where you could end up fighting Islam Makhachev at 170?
We'll see who is gonna be the champ there, but I don't know. It's the fastest way if the guy wins the fight. Fastest way to get the pound for pound. Number one.
But it doesn't stop there. Chimaev has his sights set on light heavyweight gold, eyeing potential fights with either Magomed Ankalaev or Alex Pereira, depending on who emerges from their ongoing rivalry. Working with new coach Joakim Karlsson, Chimaev believes he can make the welterweight cut again, something that's been problematic in the past. But if anyone can pull off this unprecedented feat, it might just be the undefeated Chechen who's been smashing everybody since 2020.
As far as this camp, for this fight, how has Khamzat looked and how has he been?
Perfect. Training, no problem. Go hard. Just go home, take a good rest, come back to the second session and really go hard. Have had the food by plans. The weight is going good. No injuries, no nothing. So I can't complain.
How do you prepare for a guy like Dricus? Because I think anyone who watches Dricus' fights kind of don't know what he's doing, and sometimes I wonder if maybe Dricus knows what he's doing. So how do you exactly prepare for a guy who fights in such an unorthodox way?
We don't think of that so much. Think about what Khamzat can do. So it doesn't matter how DPP he fights. We don't care. We do it our own way.
And I saw an interview with ESPN where Khamzat said that he could go back down to 170 as someone who would help him with that cut. Do you think he could reach that weight again? He seems like a much bigger guy now.
I have no idea, but I think it's going to be a struggle, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
You mentioned you kind of training just for Khamzat, not really for DDP. How does that work in sparring? Do you bring in sparring partners that mimic his style, or is it just no?
No, just go for Khamzat style. Just go for what he can develop in the fights and stuff like that.
The real question is, can he get past Plessis first? Because without that middleweight title, this three-belt dream dies before it even begins. Here's something that might surprise you about Khamzat Chimaev. He doesn't actually care about the belts. In a recent candid interview, the undefeated contender revealed what truly drives him, and it's not championship gold. I don't think so much about the belt, Chimaev told MMA Junkie. Has a couple of millions coming after the fight in my bank account. That's the important thing.
I don't think so much about the belt. It has a couple of millions coming after the fight on my bank account. That's the important thing. So I want to fight, beat that guy, That's the important for me.
This money-first mentality explains Chimaev's aggressive timeline. He's already eyeing a potential quick turnaround, hoping to defend his title or compete for another belt at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi this October. I need money, bro, Chimaev explained to ESPN MMA. This is not enough, just to go for the one title.
Business now, bro. Doesn't matter if they give me money, so I will fight anyone.
Is there a world where you could end up fighting Islam Makhachev at 170?
We'll see who is going to be the champ there, but I don't know. It's the fastest way if the guy wins the fight, fastest way to get the pound for pound. Number one.
But here's the reality check. Chimaev has struggled to fight more than once a year since 2022 due to health issues and visa problems. Can he realistically maintain the pace his bank account demands? This financial focus might be exactly what he needs to stay motivated, or it could be a distraction from the monumental task ahead of him on August 16th. Now let's talk about the man standing in Chimaev's way, Dricus du Plessis. Despite being the reigning defending middleweight champion, Stillknocks finds himself in the unusual position of being a significant betting underdog.
If people are talking about, oh, he's training with this new coach, and I'm very happy for him. He did it 5 weeks out from the fight. I've been doing this my whole life. I did it for 5-6 years. Went to the UFC. Defended my belt twice already. People are praising him for doing what is required. That's what I feel. He is a special fighter. He's incredibly good. But, jeez, I can't wait. This win for me is going to be. This is going to be history. I am going out there and I'm going to shock the world once again. Like every other time, and everybody said, it's impossible, not this guy, not this guy. And I'm going to go out there and you're going to see the boogeyman. You're going to see him break. You're going to see him break in there. And then realize there's only one boogeyman. and that's me. In the middleweight division, there can be only one boogeyman, and that will be me.
But du Plessis has been here before. The South African has built his entire career on defying expectations and shocking the world. He's 9-0 in the UFC, 23-2 as a professional, and has already defended his title twice against former champions Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya. Du Plessis initially wanted this fight to take place in Abu Dhabi, where Chimaev recently became a UAE citizen. He wanted to face the undefeated contender on his home turf. But visa issues, the same problems that have plagued Chimaev throughout his career, forced the UFC to move the fight to Chicago.
Training that Extreme Couture with Sean Strickland. He's been saying some stuff in interviews about he just didn't like your approach. Just why do you think he's saying that, and do you have a response?
I don't know. When I was there, he never said anything, you know. When I leave the Vegas and when they stopped my visa, he started to talk. When I come back, I'm in LA, bro. Come on. If it's something personal for you, just come. I'm here whenever you want.
Here's what makes du Plessis dangerous. He's dismissed the notion of Chimaev as the boogeyman of the division. While others fear Chimaev's aggressive, unique style, du Plessis sees it as an advantage, claiming that the Russian's unconventional approach makes him predictable. The champion has promised to shock the world once again, and given his track record of overcoming tough opponents when nobody believes in him, we'd be foolish to count him out. So here's where we stand heading into UFC 319 on August 16th in Chicago. This isn't just a title fight, it's a crossroads moment that could reshape the entire UFC landscape. On one side, we have Khamzat Chimaev, the undefeated 14-0 Phenom with unprecedented ambitions, a money-focused mindset, and question marks about his mental strength according to former training partner Sean Strickland. On the other side, Dricus du Plessis, the champion who thrives as an underdog, has never been finished in the UFC and believes he's the real force to watch in the middleweight division.
Yeah. It's Dricus, man.
Chimaev has looked unstoppable since his 2020 debut, ragdolling former champions like Kamaru Usman and Robert Whittaker. But du Plessis has proven he belongs at the top by defeating legends like Adesanya and Strickland. The winner doesn't just get a title, they potentially reshape the entire championship picture across multiple divisions. One thing is certain, UFC 319 on August 16th will be must-see television. Whether Khamzat Chimaev begins his historic three-belt journey or Dricus du Plessis continues his reign as the ultimate underdog champion, we're in for something special. Will Sean Strickland's mental warfare affect Chimaev's performance? Can du Plessis exploit any psychological weaknesses? Or will the undefeated Chechen prove that his skills speak louder than any criticism? We'll be covering every angle of this massive fight in the coming days, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Who's walking out as middleweight champion? This has been Fight Night Central. And remember, in MMA, anything can happen, and it usually does. We'll see you next time.